Carlos, in that seventh inning, just to take back the lead, you talk all the time about winning players and winning baseball plays. To watch that unfold with Taylor and Acuna, is that kind of precisely what you talk about and preach?
Yeah, I think we did a lot of good things today. We also made some couple of mistakes there, but on that particular inning, Taylor finding a way to get on base, Acuna putting the ball in play and beating the guy, running hard 90s. And then we put together some good at-bats. We stole a base. P gets a ground ball, and Acuna ends up scoring. So whether it was putting the ball in play when we needed to, taking the extra 90 feet, running balls out, battling, putting together some good at-bats, that's a perfect example of it.
After the uneven play with Brazaban pitching, you came out and spoke to him. What was the message you were trying to get across?
Yeah, I was just not only telling the infielders what we wanted to do, whether we were going to throw through, if they were stealing. We weren't going to be in double play depth. We wanted to be in that situation. Anything hard, close up the middle, we were going to turn it, which we ended up doing it. Anything soft, we were going to go to the plate. It was just basically taking all the infielders through possible situation. And then at the end, I told Brazo, keep making pitches, keep getting ground balls. That, we're going to win it, And to his credit, show poise, continue to make pitches, continue to get ground balls, and got out of that inning, and we ended up winning the game.
Tony?
You guys have a bunch of walk-offs this year. You have a bunch of wins in close games that were not walk-offs even. What is the common thread for you and what you guys have been able to do late in games?
Yeah, look, those are important innings. You stay in the fight, 1 through 7, 1 through 6, and then you put yourself in a position where anything can happen. And you got to continue to execute. You got to continue to play good defense. You got to continue to put together some really good at-bats, find a way to get on base. And then guys coming from the bullpen, attacking the strike zone, just playing good fundamental baseball. I feel like we've done that. Again, coming through in big situations. On a night today where we're facing a pretty tough arm, I thought we had some really good at-bats, and we created traffic. So, as a whole, I think, yes, we're a good team, but we're a good team not because just we got good players. We're going out there, we're executing.
Dave?
When Acuna scored on that, Carlos, that was a pretty tough read. Was that? Did Acuna see that, or did Mike see it when he was?
Yeah, that was. I don't think Acuna saw it. It was Sarby. I thought that was a really good send there. I think Acuna slowed down, trying to pick up the baseball, and then it was Sarby the one sending him. So I thought it was, he took a chance there, and we took advantage of it.
Tim?
You just touched on it, but what did you think of the at-bats and the outcome against Skeens?
You right? Again, I thought we had some really good at-bats. We created traffic, I think, pretty much every inning, and that's what. And then you got to get the big one, and that's what it's going to take to beat guys like him. You create traffic and you hope someone clips him. I thought we had, like I said, we created traffic, we controlled the strike zone. McNeil, obviously, Nemo hits a double, and then McNeil with the RBI. But I thought we made him work. I thought we lay off some tough pitches. He's pretty nasty, and I thought we did a good job.
I'm just wrapping up a cold. I know Diaz was back-to-back the last 2 days, but were Stanek and Garrett also unavailable for workload reasons?
Yes, 3 out of 4, I think they were. Yeah.
Mike?
Along the lines of Skeens, do you almost take an approach with a guy like that? Just keep it close until you get him out of the game, and then you can attack the bullpen.
No, I think the approach is to put together good at bats, and we did that. And you got to give credit to Peterson, who pretty much kept us in the game. That's what is when you're facing a guy like that. Not only the at bats from the offense, it's just the guy that you have on the mound keeping it close. And Petey did that. He went out there and matched him.
In the back.
My throat's not doing so well, so I'm going to do my best. Miriam Luz, Impacto Deportivo. I see that you're battling through 3 third basemen, Acuna, Brett Beatty, Mark Vientos. What's the key to have that stable third baseman that you guys really need? And there are conversations and rumors that Rafael Devers is looking to be traded to another team. Are you guys looking for that more stable third baseman, or are you guys just sticking to either Acuna, Vientos, or Beatty?
No, we love what we had in house. So Acuna, a lot of versatility. Brett Beatty, Mark Vientos. We love those guys, and there's a reason why they're playing. It's a nice rotation that we got. We feel comfortable with them, and that's what we're gonna roll with it.
In the back.
With the Acuna play, the Pirates had a very similar play a couple of innings prior where their runner didn't break, where he might have been able to score. Not necessarily describing your team and the Pirates, but are those small, is that indicative of those small details that separate teams that are higher in the standings?
Yeah, they were similar plays, but not an easy read as a third base coach. I thought the one from us was closer. Our third base coach had a better angle. Where, when we were on defense, I don't think their third base coach had that same angle. Like, I don't think he could tell how far that ball was from Lindor. So not an easy decision there. I'm just glad that we were able to make the read and make the decision and took advantage of it.
Tim.
At this point in the season, what's your confidence level in the ninth inning when Alonso steps up?
Pretty confident there, not only with people, with a lot of our guys. Acuna strikes out, and then there was a good feeling in the dugout. You got Lindor, you got Soto. One of those guys can end it with a swing, and if one of them gets on, then you got Pete, and that's what happened. Lindor gets on base, Soto attacks the first pitch, and now before we know it, he's first and third, and then you give Pete Alonso a chance, and you feel pretty good about your chances there.
Joe.
Did you think that Joey Bart fly ball in the eighth was out when it left his bat?
Yes, as soon as he hit it, I thought it was out. Nim went out there, didn't give up, and made a hell of a play. But off the bat, I thought it was gone.
David, as someone, first of all, who's been around for a number of years now, how would you kind of describe the level of confidence in this room just on a day-in, day-out basis that you guys are just going to find a way to pull it out in the end?
Yeah, I mean, I think, every guy has the confidence in themselves to be here, be a part of this group, and do the job that they're asked to do. And so, I think it's one guy gets out, I think, you pass the baton to the next guy, and he's going to do the job. And same thing pitching-wise, we get taken out of the game, and you have full confidence in the guy behind you coming out of the bullpen. And so, I think that stuff kind of adds up over games throughout the year. Just knowing that every guy believes in themselves and we believe in each other because you see the work that guys put in.
For you today, a lot of four-seam curveball usage. Was that game plan against this lineup, or did you feel good about those two pitches the way they were going early?
Yeah, I mean, I think, it was part of the game plan. But I think, you kind of go into the game with the game plan and you start to see things kind of unfold and see what you need to go with. And so, I felt like especially early, we kind of leaned on those two and continued to mix the other three in. But, I felt like it was just, kind of based on the situation and what we had thrown guys previous at-bats and just kind of seeing where we were at.
Is it more fun for you to pitch opposite the other team's best guy?
I think it's always fun, when you go up against someone's best and you get in a pitcher's duel. I was actually just talking to Manai about that, it's fun when you're just trading blows like that and the offenses are grinding and, I know our guys are taking good at-bats and trying to do everything they can and, it's just in games like that, it's kind of a matter of us as the pitching staff, holding it together where it is and giving the offense the opportunity to finally break through and be able to score enough runs to win the game.
How did it feel walking off the mound and getting that reaction from the fans today?
It was awesome. They've been bringing it all year, and I've caught myself a couple times when I'm not pitching, just seeing the noise that they bring, the energy, and the atmosphere that they create here, I think is a huge advantage. And so, it was great to get that from them tonight, and I think it was awesome for the team to have them behind us the way that they are.
There's another walk-off win in one of your games. How is that for you? Like, can you get used to this?
I mean, it's a lot of fun. I think it is what it is. The game's going to go the way it does, and we had a chance to win it there in the ninth, and we were able to come through.
Where were you during this one?
I wasn't here.